Tom Brady used to have flat duck feet and move in an improper pattern. Now he has straight feet with a proper spiral and moves like this. At the same time as recorrecting the way that he moves, his face also transformed from this to this. And now it may seem crazy to say that the two are connected, but the way that you move most definitely impacts your posture, the way that your neck holds your head, and therefore the way that your tongue rests against the roof of your mouth. So here is exactly how I believe Tom Brady recorrected the way that he walked to become more attractive. And there is definitely going to be some information that you yourself can pick up to fix your patterns of movement, to fix your posture, and become the healthiest, best looking version of yourself. So without further ado, let's get cracking. By the way, if you do not know who I am, my name is Oscar Patel. I transformed from this to this. I fixed my asthma, sleep apnea, TMJ, overbite, crooked teeth, asymmetry, anterior pelvic tilt, flat feet, the entire lot. That is a weird way of saying, yes, I was cooked beforehand and now I'm a bit less cooked. And I also have the world's largest health-based paid community. I interned at Myofunctional Institutes, and now I'm even launching my own scientific research project with Dr. Mike Mew himself, the founder of Mewing. We have thousands of client transformations, so this isn't just me waffling. We do have a bit of proof to back this up. But nonetheless, let's get back to the main topic. You can see in this video, Tom Brady was literally slower in his early 20s than he is in his early 40s. And while he's always been a great athlete, there's no debate about that, he most definitely improved his movement patterns, and as a result, he became more athletic and faster even though he was aging. And it's key to know why this is important. When the foot is flat, the arch doesn't get activated. As a result, when the muscles in the feet are weak, the tendons in the foot, like the anterior tibial tendon, become weak or inactive. The body shifts into this duck feet, and as a result, the tibia rotates, the knee caves in, the pelvis tips forward, and this creates this entire vicious chain where your body becomes out of alignment. When your pelvis tips forward, you get anterior pelvic tilt, your spine shifts forward to compensate, because again, your body is one interconnected system. If one thing moves out of balance, the rest tries to compensate. And therefore, this led to his neck shifting forward, slight forward head posture. When the neck shifts slightly forward, it's harder to keep the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And when the tongue doesn't rest against the roof of the mouth, the skin under your jaw becomes less tight, your face becomes bloated, your smile becomes gummy, and everything gets distorted. And that is literally how it works. Your feet are connected all the way to your head through the superficial front line. And while most people aren't taught this or told this, you can see how it's all interconnected. So by improving his athleticism, by improving the way that he walks, because of course, when the knee has proper support, when you have a proper foot to glute connection, of course you'll become faster, of course you'll become more athletic, because these are the patterns that we were always ingrained to move in. If you look at the way a baby crawls, if you look at the way a tiger walks, these are the same movement patterns in nature. You can see it with the fastest people in the world, people like Usain Bolt. That is generally the correct natural pattern to move in. And as a byproduct of this, I think he indirectly improved his neck posture, improved his myofunctional habits. And while I'm not saying there is no plastic surgery, he likely got some work done with his teeth, likely got some plastic surgery. Plastic surgery won't influence your neck posture, it won't influence your tongue posture, and it's clear that this has dramatically improved, and it makes sense because if you look at how uncanny he looks compared to other celebrities that have had plastic surgery, people like Simon Cowell also has duck feet. Even though he likely has plastic surgery, he still has loose skin under his jaw, he still has less developed facial muscles, and he has this slight downward trend within the face as the muscles become paralyzed and everything becomes weaker. I think it's slightly the opposite with Tom Brady, who clearly has more control over his facial muscles, and therefore I'd say that this was a massive impact in his glow up or becoming more attractive, much more than people understand or give it credit for. And what's really interesting is you can also see it with his ex-wife, Gisele Bündchen. She also moved in this perfect pattern. She's obviously one of the most famous supermodels of all time. A great example of proper movement, a very wide palate, a very wide smile, because the tongue shifts things upwards and forwards. And she obviously had this from birth since she was very young. Speaking of moving, why don't you move your finger and scan this QR code if you want more information, if you want to find out more, if you want a personalized routine, and if you want to take action, you're more than welcome to join the #1 health community in the world, my community, with all of the detailed guides, information in one place, accountability, live Q&A calls, where you can learn how to improve your looks by fixing your health. So that is a rough explanation of how I believe Tom Brady changed the way he walked and as a result changed his jawline. If you want one thing that you can do to fix the way that you walk, firstly, understanding how we should be moving. Look at people like Michael Jordan, look at people like Tom Brady, look at children moving and understand how the heel flicks away, the toes go in, and this creates proper alignment throughout the body. And the key exercise to begin retraining this, I think, is walking backwards. If you walk backwards right now, you won't walk backwards with duck feet. And if you do, you need a proper routine, and this isn't enough to help you. But generally, most people may have duck feet, but they won't have duck feet while they walk backwards. This literally shows that these proper patterns are somewhere within you. So what I'd recommend doing is literally practicing walking backwards as much as you can. 10, 15 minutes a day, up incline, walking backwards on a treadmill, feeling it in your knees, feeling your heel flicking out, feeling your feet being straight, and you'll begin recorrecting these patterns. While you do it, keep your tongue on the roof of the mouth, try and feel the connection between activating the tendon on the top of your foot and your tongue, and you'll be cooking. Remember, your mind has control of everything. If you do not feel the things going on within your body, if you do not feel the connection between the anterior tibial tendon and your tongue, then you'll never be able to learn, you'll never be able to recorrect, and you'll never be able to understand. You are the control of your body. Things like the fascia, which is what you're training to fix these patterns, is interlinked with your nervous system, and your mind is obviously interlinked with that. Body goes to mind, they're one and the same, and true health interlinks both. Take action, go for it, and I hope you found this video interesting. I'm not trying to make any crazy claims. There's definitely a connection, because I know for a fact I transformed from this to this by fixing exactly, well, this. Peace.